Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to talk to you guys today about advertising online, man. I want to get right into this, man. I'm an artist, so I do a lot of conventions, I do a lot of different shows. I sell online and I sell in person. I've been doing this for about 4 years now. And in the 4 years that I've been doing this, I run across a lot of different people who are vendors. They sell jewelry, they sell clothing, they sell artwork, they sell 3D printing, etc., etc. The list goes on. The one thing that I always try to tell people when it comes to selling in person, because they do a lot of events, is that you will be surprised how many people does not or do not utilize social media for what it has to offer. Now, I'm not a guru at social media when it comes to just being the best in the world, but I've made quite a bit of money online on social media. With that being said, I understand the pros and cons to being on social media and the pros and cons to selling in person. Now, if you're a person who's always selling in person, right? There's a lot of different. These shirts were made in the US, which means sizes run true to size, if not slightly bigger. We make art, we sell art. And our shirts range from small to 5XL. So big and tall, we got you covered. We use polyester fleece materials, which means they're very soft and breathable. Love the vibrant colors? Well, don't worry, they don't fade or shrink after washing. Tired of the same old boring images used over and over again? Or just a square image right in the middle of your shirt? Our shirts are custom designed and fully wrapped all the way around. We have sold thousands of orders all over the US to happy customers. So what are you waiting for? Order some of the most amazing, vibrant, and soft t-shirts in the industry today. We make art, we sell art. In your face! There's a lot of different things that you have to take into consideration when you're selling in person at a venue and you want to make your sales. So unless it's a free event, if you're at a free event, okay, that's one thing that you don't have to worry about because, it's free. But here's some of the pros here's some of the cons that come along with doing events in person. First of all, you're going to have to worry about if you have to pay for the event or not, meaning you have to pay for an event space. So, depending on what type of booth you have, and if you have a lot of merchandise, that can range anywhere between 50, 100, 150, all the way up to the thousands. I've spent almost $2,200 on a booth before because I was at a very, very high ticket area, very, very high ticket type of event. And I don't even want to get into how much I made. I made a lot from that investment, $1,200 here, $1,500 here, $800 there. But you already have an upfront cost going into this event. Okay, that's one con. That's one thing that you have to worry about. So then it's the travel. Is this place in your local area or do you actually have to travel? Do you have to go out of town, right? So when you have to go out of town, or even if it's first we'll start with your local area. If it's in your local area, the most you're going to have to do is spend gas. Okay, your gas, hauling your equipment and all those things. You don't want anything to mess up. Do you need a U-Haul? Do you need any of these things, or is your vehicle, substantial enough to be able to haul all the items and everything there? Say you don't have a whole lot of stuff, so okay, you can save a little money on that. Now you got to look into the fact that, okay, you pay for your space. And now if you have to travel, now we're talking about, do you got to fly? Do you have to drive? You have a lot of upfront costs just to start doing an event when it comes to make money. You got to spend a lot. So we're not talking about your supplies. We're not talking your supplies to even have your event. So, what are the things that you're selling? How much time did it take you to make these items, to buy these items for resale? I mean, all those things play an account. So you have your items, you have to pay for the space, and then you have to pay for the travel, whether it be you're in town or you're out of town. Next thing, we have to look at the fact of, okay, well, who's going to be there? How big is this event? How many people are actually going to show up to this event? How many people can you count on to really show up so you can actually have clientele to sell to? Because if the people aren't there, you're not going to make any money, right? So you want to make sure that, hey, does this item even sell? Is this a high ticket item? Is this something that can really make some good money off of? And will the people even be there? Is this a well-organized event? Are people going to show up for this event? And what are the attractions that are going to bring people to this event in the first place so I can make sure I have a lot of people coming through. Now, the next thing you have to worry about is the traffic. What do I mean by traffic? Traffic meaning where will you be placed at this event where you're going to be, or will you be in a place where there's a lot of traffic, meaning a lot of people walking past, meaning a lot of people seeing your stuff, and 9 times out of 10, every, 5, 6, or 7th person, hey, maybe somebody will make a purchase. Where will you be at this event? A lot of times you can't control that. They'll ask you for, your suggestion, but you may or may not be able to select where you want to be at in an event. So, do you need electricity? Are you going? Is this a multiple day event? But let's just say, just for starters, we're going to start off with 1 day event, right? Do you need electricity? Do you need lights and things? I mean, if you're in certain buildings doing certain events, or is it outside? Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Is this inside or is it outside? If it's outside, I hate doing outside events because, of course, the natural elements. Is it going to rain? Is it going to be cold? Is it going to be too hot? Is the wind going to be blowing so hard that it's blowing your little tent or whatever away? That's just one thing. But let's say you're inside. Okay, you're inside is good. That's a whole lot better, right? I love doing inside events anyway. So if you're going to be inside, where will you be placed at within this event? Do you need electricity? How long are you going to be there? You might want to pack your lunch. You want to pack food, because if you're doing a convention, trust me, the food is going to be Walt Disney World prices for a little bit of food or whatever that they're going to have there available. So you got to spend money on that. So packing a lunch is always a good way to go. But where will you be placed at so you make sure that, I've been in places, man, where they have me all the way in the back in the corner. I'm staring at the wall and, your boy, he's still making sales regardless. But still, it's the fact of the matter that I'm staring at the wall. I'm all the way in the back in the corner and people are literally having to try to find me and find out where I'm at. So it's just like, man, you have to take that into account when you're applying for a convention. You may think you got a good spot, and then in reality, when you get there, the spot sucks. It's terrible. The lighting is garbage. The lighting may not be that great. I mean, man, I've seen it all. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing you got to think about. Now we got to take into, once again, what we were talking about outside, but it also could play a part inside when that comes to the weather. What is the weather going to be like? How if it rains or it's a bad thunderstorm or anything like that, you may or may not have people show up to the event because, hey, look, it's thunderstorming. I don't want to come out in the rain. I don't want to come out in this bad weather. So there are a lot of unknown factors when it comes to doing events that you have to be mindful of. And I'm not saying don't do events. Look, I love doing events. I literally have 3 events lined up right now. But my point is, don't put all your eggs in one basket, as they say, or don't just rely on one way of making money. This is called brick and mortar. I don't know why it's called that, but it's called brick and mortar. So that's basically like you're in a building, you're in a facility where people have to show up. And in order for you to make money, you rely on that traffic of that building for people to show up. So you're relying on someone else's marketing. You're relying on someone else's business as far as their building. You're relying on the attractions that they have. You're relying on the weather. You're relying on the position of where you're going to be at, all to be able to make money, right? Now, on the other hand, you have social media. Now, what's up with social media? Why would social media be better than a brick and mortar? Well, I'll tell you why social media be better than a brick and mortar. Because social media, you can alleviate all those other elements and you can promote to people in your home. Well, let me give you another con about doing things in person, right? So we laid out all the other things. Another thing that you want to watch out for is the fact that every single person that walks through that door for that convention, you have no idea why they're coming there in the first place. But what do you mean? What do you mean you don't know why they're there? They're there for the event. Yeah, but how can you tell if that person is someone who's going to be interested in what you have to sell? You don't. You have so many different type of people, so many different nationalities, ages, races, all those different things, genders, all that stuff. You don't know who's coming in there and what they are looking for. So everything is a gamble. Hey, they may like this, they may not like that, right? So how is that tying into what I'm about to tell you next about social media? Well, social media, for one, you don't have to go anywhere. That's number one. So you're eliminating the travel costs. You're eliminating the booth costs. You're eliminating the food, electricity, the weather component. All those things are eliminated. We didn't even touch on hotel fees. We didn't even touch on any of that. So you alleviate all those fees, okay, right off the bat. You're at home, so you're saving a ton of money, okay? Now, when I was talking about earlier about you don't know why people are there, you literally can target exactly the type of customers that you're looking for based on their credentials that they may fit for your product. So if you're selling hair, you can advertise to people who like hair. If you're selling dog food, you can advertise to people who's looking into dog food, or they love animals, or they love pets, or whatever. You're able to tell the computer, or tell, Facebook, Instagram, Google, hey, listen, these are the type of customers that I'm looking for, and I want you to advertise towards them. Now, another great thing, even when people go to events, especially in the clubs these days, what do people always do, man? They on their phone. Even while they're in the club, man, you can go to an event, having a great time, you spend all your money to get in there, and what do? They're on their phone. They're looking at social media. They're posting their pictures and all that stuff. You want to hit people where they're at the most, and where they're at, unfortunately, well, good for an advertiser like me, but they're always on their phone 24/7. People are on their phone. So you want to go and advertise to people and be able to make a sale where it doesn't matter what time of day it is. It doesn't matter what time of year it is. It doesn't matter where they are in the world. You can advertise to people on a phone. This is another con that I want to tell you real quick about doing events. So if you do an event, say you make some sales and things like that, or you're at a store and you're looking like, okay, this store has a capacity to hold about 500-600, or if it's a big facility where I've done events where they hold 800,000 people. Okay, but out of 800,000 people, what are the likelihood of me getting sales from that said amount of people? And out of 800,000 people, how many people are going to spend money with me? These are things that I'm thinking about. These are things that I'm looking at. When you're on social media, there is a limitless amount of people that you can reach. There is no maximum. You don't have no competition. And what I mean by that is, when people are at events, they're impulse shoppers, meaning they see some, ooh, I like it, I gotta buy it. Now, by the time they get to your booth, sometimes, hey, they would have loved to purchase your product, but they already spent like $300, $400, or $500 on different things. And dang, man, I wish I would have seen your booth earlier. Trust me, that's happened to me before. I'm telling you, it's happened to me before. So when I'm promoting on social media, you get people while they're at home, while they're at work, while they're doing whatever it is that they're doing on an every day-to-day basis, and you pop up on their phone. You pop up on their phone, and they're like, oh, man, this is cool, and boom, they buy. Just like that. You didn't have to go anywhere. You didn't have to worry about other competition. You didn't have to worry about parking. You didn't have to worry about hotels. You didn't have to worry about, well, these people don't even care about what I'm trying to sell because they're all into Halloween and, Ghostbusters. And I'm over here trying to sell some Star Wars stuff. Like, you have the ability to control the narrative and control exactly who you're trying to target for that said product. You have more control in your hands. You save a lot more money, and you don't have to deal with a lot of the headache that comes with doing conventions. Now, like I say, I love doing conventions. I'm doing them while I'm doing them and everything, and they're a great tool to get my name out there, let people see that my products and stuff are real. You know what I mean? Sometimes people want to touch the product in their hand. They want to be able to meet you. They want to talk to you. They just want to get a feel for what it is that they're buying, and they love the experience. They're going there for an actual experience, right? But you as a seller, you have to realize that, hey, in the event that something happens or things aren't going well with the event, or the event gets canceled, or any other of these things happen, you still have another way and another means of making income, especially if that's your main way of making income and that income coming in. So that's why it's important to put different things in place so that you can make money in your sleep. See, I make money in my sleep. If I travel, I make money. If I'm at home, I make money. If I'm out doing something with my family and friends, I'm still going to make money. If I'm at a movie theater, I make money because I have things in place that can continually work for myself. So I'm letting my money work for me while I'm still doing other things. And I still got a brick and mortar. I do it on the weekends, 2 days out of the week. Hey, you can catch me at my brick and mortar, at my store. You can catch me, you can talk to me, whatever. But any event, anything happens, to that store, you know, anything, Lord forbid, a fire, a flood. You see what New York is going through right now, man. You see with all the Atlanta, even here in Atlanta, downtown Atlanta, man, we went through floods and all type of stuff too. So any event that something happens where you're not able to move, you can't go anywhere, things get shut down, you want to have systems in place that can still make you money regardless of the situation. Even when making videos like this, I want to continuously pump out videos. I'm tired. I've been working all day. I've been at my store talking to people and selling items and having to drive 40 minutes to get home and then take a little nap when I get home. And I'm working on children books. I'm working on brand new t-shirts releases, and I'm still shooting videos and doing research at the same time because I want to have a YouTube video that can bring in money and advertise at the same time so I can still have other forms of income coming in. If you want to be successful and you want to be an entrepreneur, then you can't just rely on one thing, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, not just one thing, like you got to have a whole bunch of different topics and a whole bunch of different things to sell. But what I mean is you don't want to have only one avenue to be able to make those sales. You want to have different avenues to be able to, capitalize on what it is that you're trying to do. So if I'm trying to sell this t-shirt, or if I'm trying to sell this book or these posters, then I need to be able to sell online. So I need people to be able to see me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter or YouTube. And then if you want to see me in person, I can do the conventions. Or if you want to be, around me on my local thing, I got something I do every weekend, then hey, you can come and pull up to me at the store. So I have like three different platforms to do it from. And then within certain platforms, I have multiple different ways on that platform on how to do it. So it's just maximizing your way, and don't rely on one way, because if you only have one way, then you're only one way and one step away for something bad happening to the point where you're not going to be able to make any money at all. And that's not the situation and the type of predicament we want to find ourselves in. So, hey, man, I hope this video will help you. If you have any other questions, put it in the comments below, and I'll talk to you later, man, in your face.